Greetings! My name is Kimberly Kubicke and I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner and yoga teacher for Joyful Belly. And I'm here today to talk to you about the mind-gut connection and particularly how you can relax your gut for better digestion using yoga. So there's many common sayings that indicate this intuitive understanding that our mind and gut are connected, right? We say things like, I lost my appetite when we're in a situation that disgusts us or we're overcome with a feeling of nausea. You might feel your stomach drop when you're afraid. You might get butterflies in your stomach when you're insecure or really excited. Your belly might be tied up in knots when you're anxious. And you might feel like you have to make a gut-wrenching decision in a situation where you don't know the obvious answer of what to do and you're looking to some inward inclination to give you guidance. And then we also all have experienced being choked up, right? It doesn't exactly affect our digestion, it more affects swallowing, but it just reinforces this idea that how we feel and what we're thinking affects our physiology. So stress attacks the entire gut. Our body basically has two settings when it comes to digestion: rest and digest, and fight or flight. Now, rest and digest is pretty self-explanatory. When we're calm and restful, our digestion works great. That's a situation it loves to process food in. Relaxing your nervous system can often improve digestion. Fight or flight mode sends all of our blood to our extremities and away from our core. So our body is preparing to literally run or fight. It's not worried about getting the most nutrients out of your food. It's prioritizing survival. So in that situation, we often don't digest well. Blood vessels actually constrict in the intestines, and the ab muscles tense up when we're stressed out. And this leads to weaker peristalsis. So a chronic situation of long-term stress, your body is always going to be challenged in digesting food. Now, there's a really interesting nerve that is pivotal in this mind-gut connection, and it's called the vagus nerve, and it runs from the brain to the gut. And the vagus nerve communicates, 80 to 90% of its communication is from the gut to the brain, and only 10% is from the brain to the gut. Pretty interesting. So anxiety attacks our gut and digestion. We might experience tension, nausea, a burning sensation, butterflies, and chronic discomfort and tension in the abdomen affects our psychology. It hampers our ability to listen to our gut, to make decisions, and to use our gut for discernment. 90% of serotonin, a hormone that helps control mood, is made in the gut, in the intestinal cells with the help of bacteria that live there. So altered levels of serotonin have been linked to diseases like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, irritable bowel disease, and other digestive disorders. And recently, a Harvard study used meditation and showed that meditation can significantly impact clinical symptoms of GI disorders like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or irritable bowel disease, IBD, by eliciting a relaxation response. And that relaxation response is basically a state of deep rest that changes physical and emotional responses to stress. Patients with IBS and IBD in the study had improved disease-related symptoms as well as reduced anxiety and improved overall quality of life by the end of the study period. And those benefits continued 3 weeks later. So it's pretty powerful to work with the mind to help your digestion. Stress can also cause emotional eating, which taxes digestion. Anytime we overeat or eat when our body isn't hungry or we're not actually in need of food, we're putting a lot of extra work, a lot of extra unnecessary work onto our digestion, because digestion takes a lot of energy. So if we bog it down, it's not going to do a great job. Emotions are stored in the gut, which we've we've all experienced, you notice how anxiety leads to butterflies in your stomach, and you might sort of clench your anus and just sort of pull up in the whole root area when you're nervous or tense. Shame can lead to sucking in the lower gut or sucking in the solar plexus. We sort of hold ourselves to in a protective way, grip that area. And we experience tension whenever stress is attacking the gut. So tension, especially in the lower gut, often is subconscious and subtle. Even just a 10% contraction in these lower gut muscles can cause constipation. And it's very hard to feel, right? It's you don't often notice that you're clenching your gut or you're pulling up on your anus. So that makes it even harder to release it as well. Well, luckily, there is one simple practice that we can do anywhere, anytime, using our breath to help us bring awareness to these muscles and to relax them. And that's a simple 3-part breath. So I like to begin with my hands actually on my lower abdomen, and then begin with filling the entire lower abdomen with air. So breathing in deep and sending all of that air down to the low belly so that you feel the belly press against your hands and move them away from your core. Then you allow that breath to come up and lift the rib cage and expand the rib cage in all directions. And then finally, the breath makes its way up to the collarbones and gently lifts the collarbones so that you're filling your entire digestive region, your entire core with breath, with prana, with air, life force, and allowing for the expansion of those muscles and their gradual relaxation, right? Just even expanding and contracting them helps us get more in touch with what they're doing. And then we have the ability to control them better and to relax them consciously. So breathing into the low abdomen sends a signal to the nervous system that it can relax, we're calm. And vice versa, it's a two-way street. So which came first, the chicken or the egg in this situation, right? Do we have gut problems initially, or do we have mental or emotional problems initially? And the answer is it could be either way. Butterflies in the stomach is not only caused by emotions, but it can also be caused by indigestion. And notice how irritable you become the next time you have indigestion, or the next time you're really hungry and you haven't been able to eat yet. Notice how that affects your emotions. So we want to get, always in Ayurveda, we want to get to the root of any problem by treating the mind and the gut. And there's a lovely practice, again, working with the breath, that helps to do this. And it's called alternate nostril breathing. In Sanskrit, it's called Nanis Show. And the way that you begin is you take your right hand and you fold down the index and middle fingers. So you make this hand position. And I'm going to use my thumb and my ring finger to alternately block each nostril. So I always begin blocking the right nostril and inhaling up the left. Slow and controlled inhale. Then when I complete my inhale, I switch and block off the left nostril, and then another slow and complete exhale out the right nostril. Then after the exhale is complete, I inhale up the right nostril. When my inhale is complete, I switch sides, and then exhale, slow and controlled, out the left. After that's complete, inhaling left, change nostrils, exhaling right. So you're always changing nostrils just before the exhale. And you can do this practice for up to 10 or 15 minutes if you have the time. I mean, you can also just do it 10 times and probably notice your system calm down. So it not only supports tranquility and balance in the mind, it also supports that in digestion. It unites the left and the right brain, creating a harmonizing effect. And it also helps to bring our attention inward. We're so focused on everything that's going on around us and all the busyness of life. And this practice, I find, just helps to bring you back into your core and to sit you there for a while and help you connect with it. Now there are a few yoga poses that are also helpful in relaxing the gut. The first one being cat-cow. And to do that one, we come onto our hands and knees in what's called tabletop position. The tops of the feet are flat on the floor, the fingers are spread wide, the hands are underneath the shoulders, and the knees are underneath the hips. And then we begin by inhaling, arching the back, lifting the chin, and then exhaling, contracting the navel back toward the spine, and bringing tucking the tailbone and the chin under. And then we inhale and again open and expand. And then exhale and contract inward. And so doing this helps us again to just get in touch with what those muscles are doing. It's hard to tell, am I tensing my muscles? But with this practice, you can get a sense of, oh yeah, they are tense, because when I inhale and I come and arch the back, I feel a lot of opening. And then I can do a more controlled release of those muscles once I have a better sense of them, once I have a better connection with them. So this practice is a nice way to begin to just warm up the whole core area and get a sense of what is going on there. And then gradually, in working with it, you can release and open any areas that are tense, sending the breath there. The next pose that's really great for relaxing the gut is child's pose. And it gently compresses the abdominal organs, which is it's almost like a massage. Similar to cat-cow is almost like a massage of all of those muscles and organs. And child's pose is the same thing, and it rests and tones the nervous system by grounding the body and the mind. So the way we come into child's pose is sitting on our knees, the tops of the feet are flat on the floor, and then we just fold forward with the arms extended, the forehead comes to the floor. You can also have the arms alongside your body, pointing back toward the feet with the palms face up if that's more comfortable for you. And so here, holding in the pose, breathing deeply into the low belly, low back, up into the ribs, expanding that whole core area so that you can actually feel your core pressing into your thighs as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, the navel gently contracts, moving back toward the spine. So you can see how this could tone the abdominal organs in expanding them and stretching them on the inhale, and then contracting them, sort of squishing and wringing them out on the exhale.
And then finally, seated forward fold is another great pose to relax the gut. And the way that we do that one is extending the feet out straight in front of you. It also, let me just say a little more about this pose. It also improves digestion by gently compressing the abdominal organs. It stretches the muscles along the spine, which is a place where many people just naturally hold tension and stress. And it opens and stretches those muscles, so that helps to just calm down the nervous system. And so we begin inhaling the arms up tall, and then exhaling, contracting the navel, folding forward out over the legs. And then inhaling, coming back up, exhaling, navel contracts, folding back forward. I like to do it dynamic a few times just to kind of warm up, get my body ready to hold the pose. So with each inhale, the belly is expanding, the low abdomen and chest are all expanding. And then with each exhale, the navel is contracting, moving back toward the spine, massaging those muscles, massaging those organs in the abdomen. And then we can come in the pose and just hold forward. Again, breathing deeply into the low belly, filling the low belly, the ribs, and up to the collarbones. Basically doing that 3-part breath that we did before while you're in the pose. And then another addition you can add to this pose, so you can hold this pose for 8 to 10 breaths, or you can hold it for 1 or 2 breaths. And you might only be here the first time you do it. And that's great. With yoga, it's all about a gradual progression. So you might be here on the first time, and maybe after a month you get down here. Maybe after 6 months, you can get your toes. It's not a competition, it's wherever your body is at, we're just trying to nourish it in that place. And so one other option with this pose is you can press your fists into your low belly, into anywhere that's tense or tight. You can inhale here with the fists pressing in, and then exhale, folding forward. And then while you're forward in the fold, inhale again so that you're pressing your stomach into your fists and expanding any places where it's tense or blocked up. And this is giving yourself a nice abdominal massage. And then you can come up on the inhale and move the hands to maybe another place, another position where there might be some tension, or even if there's not tension, just an area where you want to massage. And then folding forward, and again, inhaling, pressing the stomach into the fists, and exhaling when you're ready, releasing that. And you can, while you're pressing the stomach into the fists on the inhale, you can even hold the inhale for a count or two, for a few seconds, just to really get pressure in that area, which eventually the idea is through having a little pressure, you'll get release. And you'll get more in touch with those muscles and what they're doing and be able to more easily relax them consciously. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you for tuning in.